This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, everyone. The Cottage Grove Town Board will hold a public meeting beginning at 6:30 PM on Monday, August 3rd, 2026 at the Town Hall, 4058 County Road N, Cottage Grove, Wisconsin. We have a quorum present. The meeting was properly posted. I'll call the meeting to order and we'll all stand for the flag pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, everyone. We have the minutes from our last meeting.
I make a motion. Second.
Motion and a second to approve the minutes as presented. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. I wanted to add that Christy Williams is excused this evening and is enjoying some well-earned time up north somewhere. All right, finance report and approval of bills.
Kim, the Wisconsin Department of Revenue, it was a 2026 shared revenue.
Yep,
What is that shared revenue?
it's the part of the shared revenue that the state gives you each year. There's multiple payments through the year, and that was the July payment.
Yes, sir.
No, Dan's gone this week too.
What were the repairs for Jargo? The guardrails?
I'm sorry, what?
The repairs at Jargo, the guardrails, what was that for?
That was actually way back in May, and
Oh.
we never got a bill.
Okay,
And
that's right,
then we
okay.
got the bill from them.
Perfect. All good? Yeah, me too. Sure. Go ahead. I will make a motion to accept the finance report, July 21st. Deposits of 58112 Checks issued number 38785 through 38807. 36,752 and 14 cents. EFT payments, 30,878 and 23 cents. And ACH payments, 248.0 cents. As well as credit card charges and per diems.
Motion approved. Second.
Motion and a second to approve the bills as presented. Checks number 38785 through 38807 totaling $36,752.14. EFT payments of $30,878.23. And the ACH scheduled payments of $248. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. And you have your per diems.
His motion had the
I
payments
included
and
it.
the,
What's that?
I included the per diems this time.
Oh, you added it all in
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
Okay. Next item, public concerns, the public's opportunity to speak to the town board about any subject that is not a specific agenda item. All must be well. Next item, Plan Commission's recommendation. Tyler and Constance Kurt petitioners, Sylvan and Rosemary Kurt revocable trust property owner, parcel 0711-013-8000-2 at 4559 Ridge Road, seeking a rezone of 0.7539 acres, from FP 35 to SFR 08 for a new permanent home to replace the mobile home now allowed under CUP 2638.
You want me to come up there?
If you'd like.
Tearing down the mobile home, you get rid of the mobile home, put in a house.
Yeah, it's this company that'll take it in on like a trade-in.
Oh.
And then they'll bring them, I'll buy a modular home off them, with the basement, so it'll be permanent.
There was already an RDU on it.
Yeah, there's not, it's gonna be a net zero because there's removing one and adding one, so.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the rezone for Tyler and Constance Kurt. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried.
Take it before it's-
Next item. Lucky, you already know. Step right up.
Follow it up. Follow it up.
Freeman Norwegian Farms LLC petitioner and property owner, parcel 0711-244-9500-6, seeking a rezone of 2.343 acres from FP 35 to RR2 to create a new residential lot. And you can see from your materials there, main reason the line is where it's at on your map is because of the fact that happens to correspond with an imaginary line where Punky does his harvesting, and just to keep things straight going all the way across. Even though the lot on the left is bigger, there's part of it that's not being used and it's being used for crops.
You own that lot on the left, or did you sell that? Right here, the old Krieger? Okay.
That's the field goes around that corner up to the fence line there, so.
Where's that RDU coming from?
What was that?
Oh, I'm just looking at it, it's coming from a different parcel.
This parcel was already used for another one,
Yep.
so they'll take the deed restriction off of this one, bring the RD over from another one and deed restrict that.
Okay. I make a motion. We approve Screaming Norwegian Farm.
I'll second.
Motion and a second to accept the Plan Commission's recommendation and approve the rezone from FP 35 to RR2. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Next one. Allison Rathsack. Hope I pronounced it correctly.
Yep, you did.
Okay. Petitioner Dane County property owner parcel 0711-334-9235-0 north of 3236 County Highway N, seeking to rezone to rural industrial for the storage of materials and a conditional use permit for the removal of clay materials, tabled from the June 24th. The county is going to be hauling a bazillion yards of clay out of the property for the new landfill. And once the clay has been extracted, they plan on reclaiming it and using it for, I heard several different numbers. Is it 3 buildings or 4 buildings? But eventually,
Yeah, there's one building that they're looking at doing, that's between 200 and 250,000 square feet or so. And then having kind of 2 outdoor storage locations. Outdoor storage, maybe for items that they buy in bulk, right? Rock material, any pipe, culverts or anything like that.
I thought I'd heard that there was going to be a smaller building for the medical examiner's office. That was, or is that,
That, I don't think is on the same property. I think
They just said that there may be other county departments that would,
that would lease out the space outdoor or the indoor storage space.
using the existing, using the building that you're gonna be putting up?
Yes, yeah, correct.
Okay, all
correct.
right.
And that's one big building.
Yes, yep, similar in size to the New Holland Pavilion, that's currently at Alliant Energy Center in Madison.
Well, why does that New Holland building? I didn't think it was that price.
I think our general measurements were, don't quote me, but around 350 by about 600 or so, dimension wise.
I guess my big hang up with that is, does that fit into our town plan as far as buildings going up?
Yeah, I think we'd have to review that, through the design review process, but we would definitely, look at it right here and the standards that you guys put forward.
And then John was talking, when we were at that meeting, I had asked about a question of another location to put a building like that up. Is it feasible, realistic to put it there, or do you have another location you can put up a building like that rather than use that site?
Yeah, this is the primary site the county's looking at and has been looking at since, even before that meeting. Then with your questions, I have engaged with Department of Administration and County Exec's office to look at other sites, but this is still the primary site we're looking at.
So are you actively looking, or you just?
No, we're actively looking. There's one site specifically I've identified that we're trying to see if it fits within the building footprint needs and the county's long-term needs for that parcel.
So the county owns the property,
Yes.
okay? And how do you fit in here?
I work with, the county.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay. In that area, you plan on putting up more buildings for,
Yeah, there's one primary building that we're looking at doing. I think that there might have been a figure in, the narrative packet, of like a conceptual site plan, but it's one larger building, for indoor storage of Dane County's highway facilities, needs, for the storage space, cold storage space.
and that's where the clay is?
Yeah, the land which that building would, reside on, there's clay, on there, about 140,000 cubic.
It's gonna be
yards or
taken
so.
out and burned
Yeah.
down.
Yeah,
This would be the parcel just
Yeah,
south behind Chris's
Yeah.
house from where it was originally taken out. How long ago, Chris?
90s.
For
94.
the existing landfill.
Yeah,
So this is just,
yeah, more different little area.
And you're looking at this building that's gonna be just like warehousing, or is it gonna be offices and people working there? Service?
it's primarily gonna be warehouse and storage. I think that they are looking at putting a restroom, facility on there. But to my knowledge, and John, correct me if I'm wrong, but no offices.
No personnel really there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The building will come back to the plan commission on design review. They need our zoning in order to get the conditional use permit to take the clay off. And that's really what's before you right now. The building will come later with design review. Unless John finds a better place for it, right?
Mhm.
Part of, I just remember us going through a lot of rigmarole to put in the solar field, the county on that land.
Mhm.
Now, it was supposed to be in our plan, it's no longer in there.
Well, I don't think they can annex that into Madison.
No. I understand that.
And when did this come in front of the planning commission? It's not in these notes, obviously.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's on the
It is? Where is it at?
At the end, the last
Last
thing,
page.
item,
Oh, how did we get to that one?
Number 9.
some of the other stuff didn't make it this far.
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay, got it.
I believe we went before in the June plan commission meeting, and then it was tabled, and then the last plan commission meeting, I think on the 22nd. It was approved, with some additional conditions in which the county agreed to.
So there were, in your plan commission minutes, you'll see that there were several conditions put on the rezone. And then also on the conditional use permit, in addition to all the conditions that are in your packet from the county staff report.
So if you do find a different place to build your building,
Mhm.
I mean, the concern is if you're gonna build a building, I know you're gonna put everything back the way it should be. But if you're not gonna build a building there,
Mhm.
when you do your reclamation, you do everything, you do it the same?
Yeah, we'd look to get that reclamation plan and everything approved by the county and follow and make sure that we're adhering to the standards, that the county, applies to reclamation plans and everything, so.
The town will also get another shot at this with the non-metallic mining permit for the clay, and one of the requirements of that is a reclamation plan.
now, so all the road
Yeah.
access and all that kind of stuff
Yeah.
when
Step
it comes back, correct.
Step one.
There was a request from one of the residents in the area to modify the county's proposed hours of operation, which the county has agreed to. So it's not going as early or going as late, and then eliminating the weekends.
Holidays and weekends, yeah.
And the Dane County zoning did update their conditional use permit to incorporate that revision to the condition, so.
So there was some concern about when we talked about reclamation,
Mhm.
or something that happened years ago. And then you were aware of that, correct, John?
Yeah, I've heard of this, yes.
Okay, is there any thoughts about correcting that when you start to correct this or lay the soil back in for reclaiming?
Yeah, I mean, we can take a look at that if it's necessary. I think, that was one of the requirements before we came back to the plan commission also is to look at the stormwater. So Allison worked with, one of our engineers in the land and water department. They pointed out that with this redevelopment, if a building does go there, we would have to do a 200-year stay on design for the site. So any storm smaller than a 200-year storm, all that water volume will actually stay on the site in the pond. And then we've diverted the outflow from that pond to a ditch line instead of kind of down across the land. So all those things should help.
Do you own the land down below?
No.
Okay,
I think that sold off.
that's home. So there wouldn't be any excess water going down there.
Correct.
Has everybody seen Mark Roffer's recommendations?
Yep. And they've agreed to everything, right?
Yep, with the deed restrictions and
yeah,
everything, we have in a design review and,
Yep.
Mhm.
the non-metallic mining permit application.
Um, I will, if no one else has any comments here, I'm gonna open it up and see if there's anybody in the public who has anything additional to add that we haven't heard before. Do you have your hand up, Chris?
Yes.
Oh, sure.
Chris Hampton, I live at 3310 County Ave. I lived through their first taking of clay directly in back of me from a viable farm field that's now, he's lucky to get pastures. Now has 2 wet spots, and I still believe it doesn't drain under Optune Road correctly. And at some point, that water has to flow north. Because that's the way it goes. It goes under Optune, goes under 12 and 18, and then it becomes a stream. There are 2 wet spots that they left that they would not correct. Your bigger issue is if you approve this rezone, you're approving them to build that 200 square foot building. My question to you is, what benefit does the town of Cottage Grove get from that? Nothing. We'll provide police, fire, EMS, and we get no taxes. None whatsoever. If you rezone it, they'll be able to take the clay. They won't have to come back to you to put up a building. And there's no benefit to the township unless you can think of one that I can't. I would love to hear it, but there is no benefit. There's no permanent jobs made for residents. There's no tax base. They just keep buying your taxes from you. They bought all the developed property on Hope Hollow Road. You're gonna lose $10,000 to $20,000 this year in taxes because they bought it in 25. Really, tell me what the advantage is for the town of Cottage Grove to rezone it. I would love to hear it.
Allison, this is correct what he's saying.
I don't have the historical knowledge. That's from what I've heard, that is correct on the north side of the property. Maybe it was from the 90s or so. I don't know all the background and everything. I've just heard it kind of second or third hand.
As far as with the development of the property moving forward, you take the clay out, you reclaim the land, and you instantly start building. Is that true?
As far as like do the building construction right after?
Doesn't matter. You're gonna if we approve this tonight, you're gonna have that ability to build. And John,
No,
I can speak to
oh,
that too.
sorry.
So,
thank you.
and I think Kim had mentioned this as well, but this is really just for the rezone and the conditional use permit. If we want to build a building here, we still have to submit a detailed plan to the plan commission, has to go through their approvals, any conditions they have, and then come back to the full board as well.
But if we want no building,
It won't come back to the board. It'll stop at the plan commission. Design review.
Going back to your question, Chris, as far as benefit to the town, the landfill that's being built
Mhm.
is the benefit to the town.
Does our garbage go there? No,
Supposedly what I'm told that it does.
No,
Hey.
no.
it goes to Johnson Creek.
In terms of, if I may, in terms of benefit, I would say this is again primarily going to be used by the highway department. And so there's obviously a benefit to all county citizens for having the highway department able to maintain our roads in an efficient manner. It's a service that the county provides to all residents. I'd say there's definitely a benefit from that.
Why does it go to Johnson Creek?
I was told that after the new landfill gets operational.
Waste management does not use the Dane County landfill.
Oh, they don't?
No.
Okay.
All right, I was talking with a Pelletary person, so that's.
If you contract with Pelletary, it would come to us. But if it goes to waste management, they decide which, and oftentimes they want to go to their own landfill.
Okay.
Which is not all bad. And not put it in our landfill,
Yeah,
I would say.
the landfill's gonna be needed regardless. Whether we stay going to, with going to Johnson Creek, or if we change providers, it ends up staying here. You know, garbage has got to go somewhere. And
True, and they can get their clay someplace else. Where should they get their clay from? From cities and villages that have annexed land from townships that are going to develop. If there's any clay whatsoever there, they should strip it from that before they build houses. Instead of ruining farmland.
Did this come up before at the planning commission? And he's on the planning commission.
Correct.
And what was the vote?
6-1.
6-1.
There was another vote before that.
Yeah.
I seconded that, and then I retracted it.
And what was that vote?
That was to postpone the county's application here till after our new comp plan's been signed, sealed, and put to bed.
But there was a reason why we could. Well, there is something left to be said about removing all the clay and then putting up a big building. I don't care, it's a building, no matter what, whether you're gonna make 2 small ones or 1 massive one. I mean, regardless of whether it comes to the planning committee for review, it's still gonna be there. There's people that would have been happy to continue practicing ag on that land. And, you know, as far as what Chris was saying, as far as tax base, he makes a good point. Like I mentioned, one of those thorns that are on my side is the whole thing with the solar field. That's gone. It happened. Don't care why, it just happened.
Give me that again, the solar?
The solar field,
Okay,
it was in the township.
in the same area, you mean, or what?
No, it's one on AB.
Yeah,
The one that
okay.
we had.
City.
And that was no
Yeah,
tax.
I know where it is.
And then
Because
the
the
county
county
annexed it
owned
into
that,
the
there were
city.
no
Yeah,
taxes
correct.
on that either, but eventually you hope that you would be getting some solar incentives, whatever that means,
It was future.
They
revenue.
annexed it.
until they annexed it, and now the city would get that, yes.
If I could, in terms of the taxes, part of the landfill, we have to negotiate with municipalities within 1,500 feet of the boundaries of the landfill. So we did engage in that local negotiated agreement. As a condition of that, we are making a $50,000 a year annual payment to the town, partially for the impacts of the landfill and partially because of the loss of that tax revenue from other properties we own in the area.
It's in that agreement as far as it states highway and property.
Doesn't say
No,
that specific
it's
property, but that was
just-
part of the negotiations, was both the impacts of landfill and because of the loss of tax revenue
But you also pay on a ring around to people that are near the landfill,
to the individual property.
like it's
owners.
been going on for
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 years,
their impact, correct.
right?
Until they buy them, and then you don't get any taxes.
By what?
Buy the property.
By the
You
landlord.
look at all the
Oh, yeah.
property bought north of 12 and 18.
So
Now
what are you,
they're
what are you,
buying
what are you
south.
doing now? What, you don't own the land now? Well, you just said they didn't own the land.
No, he's talking about buying
Something
homes around it,
No.
or around the landfill in the future, and then we lose that tax base.
The county has, how long have you owned this piece?
Since the 80s.
So there's been no tax base on that since they've owned it.
So nothing has changed.
But Chris said
But that
was-
was farmland.
what Chris is trying to make a point, or one of Chris's points is that with a building down there, we'll have more to potentially do with emergency services.
Fire inspections.
Yeah, well, yeah.
What-
That's immaterial anymore. It's gonna be paid for.
And if I can tell you, that first payment that we ever got for that $50,000 from the Rotafel landfill,
Yeah,
what that was for was to compensate the town on the loss of development that we could have had on our west end of the township, because who's gonna build there with the landfill? That property
I don't-
becomes
I don't remember that.
useless.
Yeah,
I know it was one of the points, yes, but it was basically because of the dump remaining and not leaving. And it's more than 50,000 now, I think, isn't it?
Not much.
Not much?
No.
So is there any way to let them have their clay? And Chris has already talked about it. and you-
But if you do the rezone to rural and to RI,
Right,
it's a permitted use.
right.
So,
Unless you don't rezone, then you're all right.
Unless you take that permitted use, you've got a list from Mark of all the other permitted uses that are excluded. You could exclude more.
One thing on the zoning too is pointed out in the county staff report that the comprehensive plan for this area does call for commercial development in this area, so it is consistent with that. So the current zoning for farmland preservation actually would need to be changed regardless. It needs to be rezoned. It probably should have been last year when the county updated the farmland preservation, so that needs to happen to be in compliance with the town's comprehensive plan. And this is, in that plan, this is designated as commercial development area.
I do have to agree with him. And we've got 3 of the corners already that have commercial development on it.
Right.
You know, the situation with, Chris brings up a big point, a valid point with regards to the land behind him from the original area that they took, and it was never done right. And why it still remains to this day could be the topic of a big discussion some future date. But were you able to help out the renter as far as this?
We believe we've got a solution for 2028 and beyond. We haven't
Okay.
finalized that, but we're 95% sure we're there.
Okay.
When you say renter, what?
The first, the farmer, he's right behind, I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
John.
Sorry. He has been leasing the land from the county and
Before they take the clay off.
correct,
Yeah.
been forever, doing,
Mhm.
taking, and so with the county taking the clay off, he's obviously gonna lose that land, for crops. And so the county has been trying to help him find another spot where he could have additional acreage to perhaps be somewhat whole in the future going forward, as far as having acres to crop off of.
Trying to find it or they have found it.
I'm 95% sure we found it. We're pretty sure from 2028 and beyond, we have one identified.
Is that correct with you? You understand that?
Said it's 95%.
Yeah, 95. How about that other 5?
Yeah, I can't do anything about it. I don't know. Just hoping things can turn out all right.
You think?
That's all.
Okay,
Hoping for best.
got it.
And
So the vote was 6-0 or 6-1.
6-1. Correct. Anyway, what I was saying is that just south of Chris, extending into the town of Pleasant Springs, but partially into the town of Cottage
Yeah.
Grove, you've got commercial there. You've got my storage facility across the way.
Right,
You've got the vet clinic, the vet cemetery. northwest corner, you've got the Scar Pit. The only virgin territory pretty much is the northeast corner. And who knows what that's gonna be like, so I find myself at times having to be difficult to say that I agree with the county, but he does, like I said, he does have a point with, the commercial that's already in that area, and then also what our comp plan says.
But you're both on the planning commission, you both voted for it.
Yes, I did.
You voted for it.
I voted for it, yes.
So what are all the questions tonight then?
So
The,
one of the things I did bring up was compensation. Now, John's saying that that was already negotiated, but then when I asked, was it specifically noted in the negotiations? He's like, no, am I correct in saying?
negotiations.
That property specifically wasn't noted, but it was for the compensation for the landfill.
Compensation for the landfill, not that property, yes. Okay, so here we go, this is kind of interesting because we have a problem right now, EMS, as far as funds and that, and who's is who's, and now somebody will come up and say, well, wait a minute, didn't the county compensate for that? Well, it's in this document, but it doesn't list it specifically.
Well, Troy, that document is specifically to landfill negotiation statute. So it wouldn't have anything to do with something like this. That negotiation is
Right.
specifically laid out for when you expand or build a landfill.
Correct.
Yeah.
But
So
this
they're-
is,
They're basically just looking for
So,
dirt.
so I guess the only thing you could do is ask them if they would be willing to have some kind of a in lieu of tax payment to support that,
correct.
emergency services for that, but you can't go back to the landfill agreement.
No,
It doesn't
no,
do that.
that's not what, my point was is that it's not specifically listed in
Right.
the overall negotiations.
Not that property, correct?
So.
Do you have a mechanism for that? Have you done that before on a specific property?
And what'd you say? I'm sorry. I didn't-
Oh, I'm sorry, I said, do they have a mechanism for that? Have they done that previously on a property like
Like
this?
payment in lieu of taxes?
Mhm.
Not that I'm aware of. I would have to check.
Because Chris brings up a good point, we lose a little money.
Of course, what do we get for where Crossroads used to be? What do we get for all those buildings there?
No idea.
Nothing. Zero. What is the difference?
We can make a difference.
Well, but
But we don't get money now.
we don't get any money from all
Since
that.
the 80s, right?
Right. Maybe we should.
Well, we don't though. That's over and gone. It's done.
Just like
Right.
the county bought property and
Yeah. That I totally understand.
Yeah.
But we're here at the negotiation, this part.
But so you're saying that if we approve this, they can come in and get a building no matter what?
I don't think that's true.
yeah,
How do
because
you see that?
it's a permitted.
They'll have the right to a building, but they'll have to meet your design.
I mean, they just won't be able to
Yeah.
build what they want.
It's Whatever. I
Well,
mean,
they probably could build what
it's
they
gonna
want.
be
Yeah.
a two-way discussion when
Right.
it comes time for the,
Right.
to the building, okay?
You'll have to meet the ordinance standards.
But yeah, the building's in, we approve it, to my knowledge, the building's in, correct?
If we approve the CUP for the clay extraction and the rezone, yes.
And the county's owned this since when?
80s.
The 80s?
80s.
Since the 80s.
It was put in a commercial in the comp plan in 22.
So what are we getting from them now for taxes?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Zero,
So where's the change?
nothing,
Nothing.
It's already been given away.
correct.
I don't know how you
The only way you
Go
get money
back
back is if they sell
20
it back
years
to
and
us.
say,
and
now we
make
wanna
it
change
into a
what-
development.
what's going
Sell
on.
it to him and
Yeah.
he farms with it.
Unless you negotiate something now. But
Yep.
I guess-
I don't know where we're at. And that was what I
What
brought
would
up to
you-
John about that, as far as some sort of compensation for putting up the building.
What would you be looking for compensation that we haven't been getting for the last 30 years?
What compensation we've been getting the last 30 years.
No, what
We
would
haven't
you be
gotten any.
looking
Well, we
for?
haven't. Well, things are changing, EMS is changing. Fire is changing.
But even if we were given tax money for farmland, it would be like $100.
I know, but now
So-
we're talking about out there with a plow, pulling the tractor. Now we're talking about vehicles and fossil fire, all that stuff that we're gonna have to supply
Mhm.
for fire and EMS. That's kind of my point. And it's growing. We're not getting any
smaller. Okay, so I don't know what that number is. I have to look into it.
And I think that'd have to be a discussion as important as I think I am as a manager of the solid waste department. That's not my decision.
Yeah, I believe I've been talking to the. Head exec.
I guess the part, because of the fact, in my conversations with the county highway commissioner, I won't even attempt to,
Clement.
huh?
Clement.
Everybody just calls him Clement? Okay. Because I can't pronounce his last name. That this building that they're proposing is gonna be primarily cold storage or storage. It's not going to be at the current design, offices and so on, like the county highway at 80 and 12 is right now.
Word they used was off-season, so they would bring the mowers here in the fall and snow plows here in
Yeah.
the spring.
What you keep outside. now.
Right, maybe a couple times a month, somebody has to go in there and pick up a piece of equipment or drop something.
So excuse me, because there isn't a steady staff on board there, I don't know if EMS related, if there would be anything enough of a change to warrant, pursuing what you're suggesting. I'll respectfully disagree with you with that. Fire,
Would a building that size need sprinklers, and how would you accomplish that? You'd have to have a big well or some kind, or?
I'm sure it would require sprinkler.
They did it at the highway department, and put in a tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have to be that big, especially what you're.
that's what they had at AB for a while before they hooked up with
Correct.
Madison, is that right?
Very deep well and a holding tank. Yeah.
So, so anyway, I don't know, again, we don't have any way of realistically assigning numbers, say, hey, give me $1,000 a year, give me $10,000 one time.
Right.
To compensate us for something that, probably won't be an issue on a regular basis, let's put it that way.
Well, the only thing we can do is make sure the building is built properly.
And the state will certainly help
To
us with
spec,
that, because they'll
yes.
have to go for state approval and.
Yeah, so I look at you two, you're on the planning commission and you voted 6-1, and I haven't seen anything in my estimation that I would see changing that you guys voted for. I just,
No, because all of the road connections and all that kind of stuff will happen, at the county level, because there's the ones that's gonna have to approve all that.
yeah,
So,
If you did build a building, would you have your own driveway then?
correct.
At this point, you're just using, you're sharing.
how big is the land area? that we're talking
29
about?
acres.
How many?
29.
And they're gonna build
32,
32,
sorry.
and you're gonna use very small part of that, correct? You're not gonna build something 32 acres big.
Not 32 acres. No,
Well,
there's
I'm just saying, is that
yeah,
gonna
There'll be
be,
outdoor storage as well. It's
oh,
probably,
okay.
you would have to look at the site map. It's probably a quarter of the area would be buildings roughly. You need
Okay, so-
stormwater, you need outdoor storage, you need the driveway, the roads.
Okay,
Need some area for screening trees and things like that.
mhm.
And open area for, like you said, other materials.
Yep.
Bunkers or something.
Primarily like culverts and outdoor guardrail, things like that.
Anybody else have any comments,
No.
questions, concerns? Gripes?
No.
The guy in the front is holding his hand up.
Chris,
With that,
You should probably take a look at what you get for taxes from Capital Underground and any of that that's going out in Swalheim's development. See what you're gonna miss out in taxes if you go to RI.
but we're not getting any taxes from that parcel right now.
But if you don't zone it RI and go general commercial or something like that, if you had a private company that's gonna pay you taxes instead of costing you money, what benefit does that give to the town? It helps pay for everything that we do,
If we weren't,
That's
if they wanted to sell the land.
and they don't.
But the county would have to sell it to that
Right.
person then. And I don't know that the county wants to sell.
You're gonna
Because
force them
We
to.
wouldn't be allowed to sell to, well, I shouldn't say allowed. The farmer John Hornick actually has first right of refusal on that, so we couldn't sell to the developer without talking to them first.
Keep it farmland. If you're gonna zone it for commercial, then you might as well do everything on that side. Do all four corners and I'll sell my house and you can put commercial in there then.
mhm.
Well, it's already in the comp plan for commercial. For all four corners, as you said. And I don't foresee it doing anything other than in that area. You've got commercial to the south of you. All the way to the town border with Pleasant Springs. And the ability for somebody else to use the land for general commercial, as you put it, as long as he's got right of first refusal, if the county decides to sell it, we're still not gonna be any better off, other than the fact that you're not gonna have anything for the time being around you.
And don't forget, you have a burial plot in his property. There's a grave.
Not in ours and John's.
Okay. How does that fall into? How does that fall into the,
Well, if you make everything commercial, somebody's gonna have to deal with that grave.
well, if it's on your property? It's a moot point as far as the county's acreage, right?
Yeah, it's on my property. I don't know what it has to do with.
It's on your land. Okay,
If you make everything in that corner commercial like the other three, it will have an impact at some point.
So that'd be changing their line, future line, putting pink on the right-hand side of Highway N as you're going.
it's already that way.
Yeah, I just wonder why, that's an old map.
That's an old map.
So it was 22 that they did that.
In 22, this parcel was put into commercial.
But not the whole area, just that piece.
Houston's asked for a bigger area,
Yeah.
and just this parcel was put in. I looked it up since the plan commission.
Give me that again.
In 22, when we amended the comp plan, Houston's asked for a bigger area
Yeah.
down there to be commercial, and only the county parcel was actually, in the end, put into commercial at that point.
But to go do something when they've owned the land for, that's what we do for somebody that owned the land. We would say, you couldn't do something if it was not Dane County, but we can tell Dane County, no, you can't do this, even though you own the land. That doesn't even make sense to me.
That's zoning.
I understand that.
All right. Anybody have anything else?
No.
They own the land. That's the biggest thing.
What's that?
They own the land.
Yeah.
One part.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
You're accepting all the commission, the
Yes,
conditions.
all the standards,
that the plan
yes.
commission had.
The Robbers has in there,
Yep.
Plus include Mark Crawford.
Yeah, Mark Roppers,
All the conditions are in the plan commission.
They're in there.
Right.
Other than it references that county staff report.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, was it Troy or
I second.
Anything else? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I,
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Well, can you tell me how that benefits the town?
It's over.
I just wanted to know how
It's
it
over.
benefits.
You had your chance.
Next item. Discuss and consider request for snake crossing signs near 3252 Violet Road.
Now, this is very important now. We're finally getting the important stuff.
Trying to bring a little levity.
No, it's not.
Hello.
It's not levity, it's concern.
It is.
Is there that much around that area?
It's for years, it's broken my heart every fall. Yeah, so there's a winter hibernation pen right on our Store Creek Orchard right there.
Right.
So when you go down our driveway to the left, there's a little cliff there and they all gather in there for hibernation. And so they're crossing from all over, right in our busy season. And they just get run over left and right and yeah. And I put signs on our property for our customers, over the years. But you can't see them from the road, so.
My wife won't come out there.
No, they're just little garter snakes. They're little.
I don't care.
There's a little one, there's a big one.
Yeah.
There's plenty of turtle and all that crossing signs.
Right, I had noticed
I
that.
don't have any, but I just never seen this snake crossing sign.
I have an example.
Do you really?
If you'd like to see it, sure.
this is something you would be putting up.
I'd be doing it myself, no cost.
Oh, wow.
Cottage Grove.
Holy man.
And I don't know, I'm happy to take them down if you only wanted that partial year. That's fine, I can take responsibility for that.
I did not get a chance to talk to Dan prior to him going on
I
vacation.
would just say if you're gonna approve it, that you have her work with him for, if you're doing existing signs and posts or where you want some.
They would supply the signs and we would put the signs up.
Or just coordinate with Dan, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Just make sure that they
Yeah.
don't, put up posts that he doesn't want, or more posts or whatever.
Or put it
Yeah.
on a post.
Yeah.
Existing post out there.
There's actually two, the way I had envisioned it, there was one going one direction and one the other. There's speed limit posts, but I know that's not kosher normally, but the posts are in perfect position for people coming both directions for the section where they cross. So if that could be an option, I think that would work well. So there wouldn't be another post that they have to mow around or plow.
Dan will know what's
Yeah.
appropriate.
I'll make a motion that, if you can work with Dan, and Dan can find out a way to do it, that you can place your snake crossing signs on the road in front of your place.
And they'll supply them, the signs.
And they're supplying one.
Yes.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the snake crossing signs to be handled between the highway commissioner and Liz to figure out placement.
Thank you so much.
All signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank
Not a
you.
thank you.
Thank you.
And do I,
Dan is, he'll be back next Monday, so if you wanna I can get you his contact information, or you can look on the website, the highway superintendent. He's gone until Monday.
thank you.
I should probably give him a heads up. Huh?
Never realized
I did
that.
mention it to him.
Okay.
What you were talking about, I was reading this email quite like, really? It's a big thing apparently. It just.
Yeah, they all go, over the course of like a month, they all just move into there and it's carnage.
I'm
So,
not good.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
It kills me every year for decades. So,
Next item, discuss and consider approval of 180-day blasting permit application by RG Houston Company at 3440 County Highway N for rock excavation to prepare site for a commercial development. Ironstone Business Park. We have representatives from Houston's present tonight.
Yeah, we're available for any questions. We have our blaster here, also explosive DJ, so.
So you're going south, you're talking the property to the east.
Yeah, on the left side, as we're going south.
There's
South
been-
of Paul
never been
Davis.
any blasting there before. That's
Well, I
correct.
think when they did 12 and 18, they.
Oh, right there on the
Yeah, for
corner.
the off ramp,
The off-ramp.
they had to.
So how close is this to in 12 and 18?
It's all right within that interchange, right behind Paul Davis, all right in that area. That's big rocky knob there that has to be
It
taken.
seems like the last time we had somebody did blasting where you're working out, didn't they throw some rocks about 80 feet in the air and it went over the road or something? Seems to me that we talked about that. So you're an expert. Are you a spurt or an expert?
Been a licensed blaster in the state of Wisconsin for 22 years.
Yeah.
Done a fair amount around Cottage Grove here in the past 22 years.
How far are you gonna go down?
I think we're about
To remove
15,
I say anywhere from 8 to 15 foot by the borings right now. So pretty shallow for rock concern.
DJ also did all this stuff on the interstate when we did right along the highway on the interstate
Yeah.
down here. And going towards Madison along the live traffic. We didn't have any issues there.
Have you talked with guys over at Paul Davis at all?
Yeah, they're aware.
They're involved in
They're on
this. We'll be doing,
It's part of where they're gonna build.
yeah, we're doing their site.
We're working
grading.
together on stuff.
Gotcha. Perfect.
The same way with the residents of the house there.
Yeah, he's gonna be out here in the middle of the month.
Oh,
The farmhouse.
Oh, ready.
Yeah, we'll be taking that down shortly thereafter.
the fire department gonna burn it, or you guys just gonna demo it?
We haven't talked about that yet. We can definitely mention it to him. I know we offered the Opportune House at one time, but timing didn't work out. Yeah, I can reach out.
Okay, yeah, but nothing ventured.
We got
nothing
time.
gained.
Yeah.
Okay,
And you have obviously liability insurance. So that's,
Should be with the application. Yeah, we've been in business 66 years. Do some very touchy stuff. This is actually pretty standard.
But once you get down to the bedrock, is that what the building and everything is gonna sit on pretty much? You have to blast a little deeper for.
Yeah, we'll have the plans for footings and some pipe work.
Right.
So once that's finalized, yeah.
But will this include that also?
Yeah. We're hoping
Yeah.
that we can plan enough ahead with some of the building designs to take care of that while we're doing this. It'd be a lot easier to mass blast than to come and do a trench.
And there's small shots too. I mean, just.
Pounds wise, they're small. Number of holes might be up, but they're very limit. I mean, we're talking probably 7,000 pounds of blast maybe, but that's all spread over, say 200, 300 holes. So your pounds is very minimal per 8 millisecond. We blast other places around Dane County where we'll do 40,000 pounds in a shot in a 50-foot high wall. Today's technology with electronic detonators is really night and day from what it was 30 years ago.
So you can really synchronize it well.
You can actually just it's all timed out, computer programmed to where each hole goes off independent. But the advantage of doing that is that you can cut your frequency of blasting. Instead of blasting 20 times a year, you can blast 10 times in a quarry or something. I mean, not using that number in this case, but
So when you say there's 45 blasts, that could be 3 in a day, that could be
I would say 2 to 3 per week.
2, 3 per week. And it's 6 months.
Doesn't mean that we couldn't get in a case where we might want to do 2 a day just because of drilling, and maybe we need to get, if we get a bunch of holes drilled and the next 2 days look like rain, we may try to squeak something in there.
and in this case, not a lot of residences around.
Right.
The stuff
It's gotta be done.
to the house over on Nedvik, next to the pit entrance.
John Leinhardt
Yeah,
is
is
an
he
employee of ours.
he's still potentially in the ring of, or is he?
He's probably far enough outside the radius, but
It was.
yeah,
Okay,
But yeah, he still works for us, so he's been coordinated with.
okay.
He actually works in the Scar Pit for us during the summer. So he's right next door.
Go figure, right?
Yeah.
You're not expecting anything to affect the shelf at the score pit or anything? Where it would create a problem?
No, I mean, we're not even gonna affect the Paul Davis building. I mean, lath and drywall is the weakest thing in a structure, and we're not gonna affect that, so.
When were you hoping to have this effective? Your most bang for your 6 months, I guess,
When do you think we?
literally.
We're just trying to get ahead of things because we got a few paperwork issues to work out yet, but this fall, I guess.
Not this month. We were hoping
No.
it was gonna be this
So
month,
that
but
would, if they approve this, you would not want. them
delay
to
the
say
effective date until we,
When you're
notify you.
ready.
if we could do that. We've done that at, like Town of Dunn will do that with their 6-month permit. Because we will have a good 3-4 months at the outside of shooting there once we start clicking, 2 or 3 times a week.
Let me make a motion that we approve the blasting permit
With a start date. to be
as
determined.
stated.
Well, with start date,
Start date to be determined.
notify the clerk. Okay, I'll second that motion.
Motion and a second to approve the blasting permit application, for 6-month blast.
Yeah.
Will there be any crushing going on?
On site?
Yes.
Yep, a lot of that stone will stay right there and get put right back down. So no trucking off site, no wasting of fuel or anything like that. If there is access, we'll take it across the road to our Scar Pit.
Will you be using it on the future road?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all the roads and building pads.
Road
are
and the
gonna
building
run.
pads, yes.
Okay.
Yep,
So
we'll
So
try
it's
to,
gonna save a lot of traffic, a lot of,
a lot of
emissions,
wear and
yeah.
tear on the roads. So, yeah, we're gonna try to use it all. Should be, we've done some test stuff and it should be good. Should be good stone for that. So,
Motion still stand?
Okay, motion and a second to approve the 6-month blasting permit as requested with a start date to be determined. The applicants will notify the clerk. I don't know, you want to do 24, 48-hour notice before they start to notify you?
Well, they'll have to issue the permit, so they won't.
we'll give you plenty, we'll give you all that.
Okay, all right. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
thank you.
Next item. Discuss and consider the village board request to consider approving road connections at Meadowlark, Nightingale, Morning Dove, and Pheasant Run. I asked that this be put on mainly for discussion tonight for us because of the fact that the village board took it upon themselves to, I guess I was a little put off with the language like the village decrees it, so the town must follow. And like I've said for many, many years, even back when Chris was on the board, when Hamburg first started his development over there off of Damascus, we had actually encouraged at least one of the streets, I forget if it was either Morning Dove or Pheasant Run, as long as Mr. Hamburg completed that connection between the two and putting curb and gutter and
Paid for everything.
matching, correct, and took it down to Sandpiper, the town would seriously look at it. Well, Mr. Hamburg says, no way, and it kind of died there, and it's been an on and off discussion ever since.
And this sort of says the same, that it doesn't say they'll pay for it, really. All this stuff. It
Correct.
sort of leads you to believe, well, then we'll look at that later,
I think what they don't want to move forward with their own planning unless it's viable
Well,
by us. And so I understand if they, if we're gonna say no, then they probably aren't gonna take it.
We said it 4 times.
I know, yeah. I don't, but there is some other options in here,
Well, the options, a lot of it is nothing to do with us.
No,
It's you're talking, with this London, the road that would go through the big pile of, and come out on Bus Road, then you got Damascus that would come out on Gaston Road. And, this thing about they had the gas thing and nobody could leave their house and get out of where they were going. I'm so amazed. And then it says also that, their emergency, they have professional emergency government people, which they don't. It says that, those roads should go through. And we went through this with the fire department even. Because there's a hydrant right across.
what is the purpose of the request? I mean, is it better emergency access? Is it traffic or is it pedestrian? It doesn't say what we're considering.
probably to some degree, all the above, okay? But I guess part of my question is, and that ship has sailed, but I think perhaps maybe their plan department should have taken a look at the developer's agreement saying that, as I understand it right now, the roads don't have to connect until the final phase of that subdivision.
Yeah, I think that's where we're
And
at.
why you would do that, I have no clue. If we're going to be perhaps some stewards to maybe facilitate something, I guess the route of least resistance is probably gonna be Meadowlark to the north to Gaston Road. And because of the fact that there are such steep ditches along Morning Dove and Pheasant Run and one.
Nightingale's really steep.
Yes, and there would be no way that I would want the roads to connect, leaving the town road in its current configuration, because you would prohibit anybody from parking in their house forever and ever, because the roads aren't wide enough.
Well, I guess, in considering the Meadowlark one, it's pretty much their same concern, Damascus to Gaston Road, is that that's gonna be a connection from Vilas all the way to Gaston. What's the difference if we open Meadowlark or they put Gaston? There's gonna be a lot of traffic on Meadowlark. They're just gonna take that slight right and go right out to Gaston. And you've got Sandpiper coming around and then you've got Meadowlark going into it and they're gonna get on that side of town. So I think the Meadowlark thing has the same concern, why they don't want to do the Damascus Trail at this point.
Well, because of the fact, number one, the developer doesn't have to do it right now. And they can't force the developer, as I understand it, to complete that road.
It sounds like.
And so,
Well, their design, I spent about 2 hours out there today. First of all, talking to some people in the village that live where the roads they're happy the way it is.
on the village
The
side
ones
of
to the
Meadow,
west.
Morning Dove and all those.
The village people are pretty happy about it because they got a little side street and it's dead end. They're pretty happy about it.
Kind of like the way Sandpiper used to be back in the
Yeah,
day when
yeah.
that ended down by my old house, but yeah.
The ones that aren't happy about it are the ones that live to the east. That it seems like the only big thing is the kids have to go through the trail rather than having a
But now that
concrete pad.
Now that Taylor Prairie is not a school, why would they have to go?
Well, it's to go over to Bus Road and to Granite.
Bridge and all.
It's 100 yards from
Yeah.
Killian to Pheasant Run.
And Killian,
That's it.
what is the problem with
It's
using
100
Killian?
yards.
This is not a,
To get up to Morning Dove, okay, now it's 200 yards.
but why would you design all the roads to go through the town? Actually build them that way, I just don't get it.
Originally, back before the village became
Well,
the
it was-
village,
Yeah.
it was designed for the town to extend
Correct. Yeah.
westward.
Yeah.
And,
With the same dimension of roads that are there now.
Agreed. Because we use our ditches and so on and so forth. The village does not. They have their storm sewers.
Yeah.
But the,
But it seems to me that they should get Hamburgs to start putting these roads through, period. And solve the problem on their side. You get what I'm saying? I
you're
mean,
talking the northbound road.
yeah. Damascus. And this one where they, right now it's a maintenance road behind the school on bus.
Oh, the gravel
And that
road
will
where the,
someday apparently go through, and that's London Road or whatever it'll be.
Right.
Back there,
The
yeah,
bus, yeah.
yeah. But now the big pile of sand is there, of course. So, I mean, it ain't gonna happen tomorrow.
Well, I think they also mentioned that Morning Dove and those were gonna go through until the school bought all that land, so that isn't gonna happen anymore either.
so basically the village is asking us to fix their problems.
I mean,
What is their
well,
problem? See,
well-
that's, what is their problem really?
I think there's three issues. There's one, they're talking about the kids that are walking through an area that, isn't set up for that. And then two, emergency services, but we do have two entrances. We have keys to Hamburg's bus road entrance. And also keys for the other side, I think off of London, where you could open that up if people had to evacuate.
Yeah.
So,
Well, their first two options, we have nothing to do with at all. Option 1 and 2, that's theirs.
get to it, sorry. Well, right, yeah, those are probably the best options.
And it says they haven't approached the town regarding connections at the newer Nightingale. Sure they have. This has come
Nightingale
up
looks like-
before. This is nothing new.
Nightingale has 3 huge trees that line that neighborhood. Those 2 houses there, and it's a really steep grade, but there is a right of way there. And if you go look at the end of Meadowlark, the driveway that would be on the west side, the drive kind of comes into that little cul-de-sac or that little area there, so I don't even know if you could go straight through it without going through the driveway. And they already have a little fence with string up, because
Well,
people
but
must be
that's-
doing it.
Right, but we'd
They were
have to
driving
actually look
onto
and
the
find
road.
out how, if that's
Exactly.
actually their land,
Right.
where their lot line is, and, because of the fact that person on the west side and the person on the east side have become the unofficial caretakers of that grass
Correct.
over the last
Yeah.
couple of decades,
I mean, a gate at Meadowlark for emergency services, that may not be a bad idea, but I don't know what that solves.
There's your start.
I mean, it's a start, or, I
but
mean,
what purpose would the gate serve?
I'm just saying, that's what I don't know. Are they looking for emergency services? Or are they looking for traffic to exit? That doesn't help with pedestrians. We already have a couple of ways for emergency services. So I'm not sure, unless they just want to get traffic out to Gaston rather than to BB. I mean, I'm not getting what exactly what the driving thing here. Although the letters do say that they're looking for pedestrian traffic. The ones that came from a town member and a village citizen.
From a town member that lives on Vilas.
I understand that.
You go up and I did today again, but went to the other side, and anybody that was mowing their property or whatever outside, I asked them what they thought. There is not one person that wants that road to go, none of those roads to go through.
You guys have a joint meeting with them on September
Yeah.
14th. Wouldn't it make sense to talk about this when you're all in the same room?
Yeah, I agree, yeah. We did
But
this once
I
before.
don't think we should go there without anything like we're doing now, because that won't accomplish anything.
Well, I think
If all of
the-
us are there and we don't have any idea.
The one thing you can accomplish is to get a clear idea of why do you really think we need to do this? What's the most important thing? Are the other things important too, or are they just ancillary? you know?
So far, the thing that people, citizens are most concerned about that I can see are the kids going through those streets.
Village citizens.
That is correct, because we live on Pheasant
Well,
Run.
here's some talkers.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Yeah, can we welcome them?
Yeah.
Here, talk first.
We will. I just wanted to get
Yeah.
Yeah, so
us first.
I guess the only thing that, if there was anything here that I could even consider, if they could explain the need for emergency services, I could see a gate at Meadowlark. And I don't see any, Pheasant Run doesn't, it's 100 yards from Killian.
Mhm.
So
It's
maybe it's 100 yards from Killian.
Mhm.
So if you did a walkway, a bikeway, pathway, or whatever that was safe, that connected Morning Dove and Morning Dove, or just pedestrian traffic or bicycle traffic, I guess. Those are the only two things that I think I would consider. But that's all I have.
Yes, who would like to go first?
How many of us live on Pheasant Run?
All of us.
Okay. So I don't mind going first.
Run the town.
How's
that? Okay.
Yeah, hi.
Please state your name and your address.
Right, I'm Carrie Robbins. I live at 2743 Pheasant Run. We've been there since 1998, so we've seen a lot of really exciting growth and development in that time. How I found out that this was on the agenda for tonight is one of our neighbors happened to catch my 19-year-old daughter in the driveway and said, hey, this is on the agenda. So she came in and said to me, what does this mean? And I said, well, one of the things that we think about and how you've been raised here literally your entire life is the quality of life and experience that we want you to have. And we've been very happy there. And part of the reason is because of the character and nature of why we chose that property and what we enjoy. So I explained to Julia, my daughter, that we're on the dead end. And I said, I think a change like this would have an impact on our neighborhood. And so being a teenager, she immediately Googled what are the benefits of being on a dead end street. And her conclusion after a few minutes of thinking about this was, this would be bad for us and it would be good for the people in the, we like to say, the brand new, beautiful, nice houses that are a little bit further west from us. So that was her first introduction to thinking about this is, well, how does it affect us? So we talked about it a little bit and I said, I would come and mention to you that we, as longtime residents of Pheasant Run, would not like to see this road be built through for all the reasons that you already were talking about tonight. We don't think the road itself would support the additional traffic, even pedestrian traffic and even the scooters and even the things that would start going through there. It would change it quite a bit in a negative way for us. And it seemed like this was a detriment to the town and a potential benefit to the village. And so we were just sort of thinking about how to approach that and why it would be necessary for us to come. And even if I didn't say anything else, I just wanted to register public comment so that, you know, we're thinking about this and care about this. And we see this as a negative effect on us and something we didn't want you to proceed with. I think there's other folks who have maybe additional things to say, but I just wanted to like at least say that and make sure that you, if you had to continue the discussion, it would be fair to say you've heard from some of the residents who think this would negatively impact them. Because we've been there long enough to remember when Sandpiper was a dead end and Pheasant Run was a dead end. And so we don't have the concerns about safety that were being put forward in the proposal. We chose that knowing what the environment is and we like it very, very much. And in fact, right before coming here, I was walking my dogs in the middle of the street because we can do that without any real safety trouble. And one of my neighbors who was just coming home from work stopped and we had our conversation in the street because that's what we can do on Pheasant Run. And she said, are you going to me? I said, yes, and I'll represent you as well. So I'm not just here representing my family, but also our neighbors 3 houses down. Just to say, we don't think it's in the best interest of our residents in the town to build through these connecting stubs, I think they were called in the proposal. And when those were first built, they thought it was disingenuous to line them up and to name them the same thing on the other side. I really think that that was trying to force our hand with this in a way that they could have easily made those all a very different configuration. And I resented that that was done as an attempt to make us seem like we're resisting something that was already planned and agreed to. It really wasn't. So as soon as they started naming the other half of the street the same thing, I thought, oh, this is a choice they're making and it's not what we necessarily collaboratively determined. And I think there's many other solutions to providing multiple egress routes through that beautiful new neighborhood and without reducing our quality on our streets. So I
Can
really
actually
just wanted to say it all
Can I
that.
ask you just one question, if you don't mind?
Yeah.
So since you live right near the corner, how many children do you see that come through there?
We are in the middle of the street.
Oh, okay.
And so when our kids were in school and both my children went all the way through the district and the older one just got married. So I'm already thinking grandkids. I'm already
Okay, sure.
thinking what this
We wanna
will
have
be
that.
like,
Yes,
you know,
right,
and what
right.
we can do there. Our kids used to walk down the street to the corner and be picked up by the bus. And I know from being on the school board myself that when you don't have sidewalks, the district is required to provide you a bus for safe transportation. So we knew that and chose that. And the people who are in different parts of the village who are now being allocated to different locations of school buildings are looking to kind of shortcut through our neighborhood, but that really is a different issue than disadvantaging us for that purpose. So I'm seeing kids, but seeing kids isn't the issue. It's the traffic and the configuration
Traffic, I understand. Yep.
and safety stuff that's gonna go on. Because obviously all of you know how incredibly different it is to walk dogs on Sandpiper now than it was when we had our first dog. So just really, really different. And we love that we still have these kind of parallel 4 streets that are still quite pleasant to walk dogs on. So
Appreciate it.
just want to make sure you.
No, I appreciate it very much. Thank you. I have a few questions for you.
I can stay, but I love the airtime, so I'm trying to leave. but-
Right, so you live on the dead end.
Yeah,
Whoever lives on, you all live on dead ends?
We're all on Pheasant
it's all.
Oh, you're all on Pheasant
It's all
Road.
its neighbors.
Okay,
Same street?
Yes.
so if you were to sell your house today and you would find another one, would you want to find another dead end road or would anything do?
No, I would want a dead end.
You'd want to find
That's
find
easy.
value in that.
Excuse me?
You find some value in living on a
Yes,
dead end.
because less traffic, just like Carrie had said, we get people who walked on our street because they don't want to walk on Sandpiper.
Okay.
We get people who go through that little tree area to get to the other side because they know they're gonna be safe. They like our street.
Same for us. We love it. And I know in the village, there have been some little loops that they build that are essentially dead ends when you go in and there's 5 or 6 houses in a little loop. I mean, that is a very desirable pattern. And we kind of have that because it's a short enough street. So I have never had a safety concern of egress or anything like that.
Okay,
We would do the same thing.
so then you said you were on the school board.
I was in 2015, 2018. Thank God I was done before COVID. Oh my God.
My question is, you say that the school has to supply transportation if there's no sidewalk.
In the state of Wisconsin, school districts, public school districts are required to provide transportation for students who live in dangerous transportation zones. And so in rural areas without sidewalks, that's part of the consideration is busing is required, even if you live within however many miles is the capture area for walking. So I think the district might be running into some different circles drawn around those buildings now where they're required to provide busing. I haven't looked at that in a while.
Okay.
But that's part of people's thinking is, am I gonna have to buy a seat on the bus or is the bus already provided to me?
So if you were to live in the village, would that same service be provided to?
It depends on sidewalks.
There's no sidewalks.
And so when we bought our property, one of the things that was really important to Jeff and me, because we were much younger then, is we didn't want sidewalks because we didn't want to shovel that before work. I mean, and there were some really intentional choices we made, and I'm with Mary. If we had to do it over, we would do the same thing. We loved everything about it. We've been there a really long time.
We've been neighbors for 27.
Of course, and I would say, and we have really great neighbors.
You're in a dead end. It's
We-
just
we-
like your own
we-
spot.
And I know the village has done little mini dead ends in different places too. So it was disingenuous to me when they lined up these new roads with ours. And I thought, well, you can see what they think. They're gonna force our hand here. But I would do the same. I loved living there. And I think anyone would buy my house because it's awesome.
Property appeal.
I mean.
It's on a
so
dead end.
We love it.
So good.
We've made some improvements too. So it's something that matters to us.
And if I can note, when we bought our properties and we were on the dead ends and everybody built around us, that was fine. We kind of knew that was happening, but we didn't know that they were gonna start taking like our road into another one. We were here the last meeting and obviously it didn't go through. Thank you, because you were here for that. And none of us want that. When we bought our property, this is why we purchased it. And now these people are building around us. I kind of feel like they're like, we have to do us now. I don't think that's fair.
Can I get your name and address, please?
Mary Volk.
Does anybody live at the very end
27, what are
Can
you,
you
like
answer how many
27,
kids
Mary,
try to
are you
use it?
2743?
2737 Pheasant Run.
You can come up here if you want.
Jason
Bree.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jason Bree, 2764 Pheasant Run. I'm the last house on Pheasant Run. When they put the sidewalk in the town, we cleared the brush and allowed the sidewalk to kind of continue through because our kids used it. And they'll still use it, because, they have friends in that subdivision. I guess my concern, or I guess my points I wanted to bring up were related to kind of the village's options. I think a lot of, I'm not saying I would be okay with the roads going through, but I think a lot of opposition to the roads going through goes away once Damascus connects to Gaston. That's 90% of the traffic we're all worried about. And that's all the traffic we don't want on our road.
Absolutely.
And for the same reasons that they're saying they don't want to put that road in, those are all the same reasons they should put the road in. Because all that traffic is currently going through Sandpiper anyway. It has to come around Killian and come around and around Sandpiper, because everybody's trying to get out to Gaston anyway. To the point that now they're cutting through the school. Now that the elementary school and the middle school connect, everybody drives through the school to get the bus to get over to Gaston. So, I mean, it's just exacerbating the problem. I do think not living on Nightingale, I feel like Nightingale is the worst option because of the park being there. I get there's only, the park's right there, Ravenwood Park.
Ravenwood. Yeah, right on the corner.
It's right on the corner of Nightingale and Sandpiper.
Then it could happen.
Yeah.
Nightingale.
Nightingale's the one that's getting flooded out from the drainage ponds.
That's where you look whenever it rains and there's a
Yeah.
stream for like 3
Oh,
days
right.
because they didn't take care of the
So,
water.
I mean, with the park there, I get there's only 2 houses and I get that it's right there, but it is very steep. There's a lot of water runoff that wouldn't be contained if that road came through. That's already a problem for the people living downstream on Nightingale. And then you have the park there, which fall and spring, you've got 50 soccer cars parked on Sandpiper. So
And Nightingale's a dead end at the other
and
end.
Nightingale's a dead end in both directions. So, I mean, nobody's here from Nightingale, but I feel like I should advocate for them that I feel that's the worst option of them all. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of kids that walk through and most of us are fine with that. There is a Facebook group for In the Grove that a lot of the people in the village are complaining about the fact the roads don't go through. And a lot of their reasons are in there. And one of them is that it gets so muddy in there in the spring and the fall because of the rain and there's no real path.
Right.
So it gets very muddy and slippery. I've taken a lot of dumps through there, taking a dog for a walk, so it happens. I mean, I feel like the solution to that is just to put a path from the middle of the road to the middle of the road that's 4 feet wide and people can walk through there. I don't see the roads needing to go through.
No, I agree. I don't think anybody wants to probably go through.
I know last time we had this conversation, this room was full. So it's clearly less of an issue.
Well, the
I
other
think people know.
There's awareness issue.
People
Yeah.
know.
That too.
We just had somebody putting stuff on our door saying, come to this meeting. That's
Right.
how we found out.
And I think, I forgot what I was gonna say now. I do feel like the kids walking through is not a problem for me. Like I have no problem with them cutting through my yard to get to the sidewalk. If they fall and sue me, I might say different, but technically it's in the right of way, so I guess I'm off the hook there. But yeah, I feel like, I still don't want the road to go through, but I would have far less concerns once the other outlets to the subdivision are built. You have right now you have 184 platted properties with one exit. And I feel like that's just a design issue.
That was, the onus is on the village for that.
I grew up in a brand new subdivision that was being built in a rural area, and the first thing they did was put a road all the way through. It was gravel until construction was done, and then they came through and paved it. I mean, I don't get why they can't just put Damascus through and solve all their problems. But that's my take on it.
I appreciate it. For everyone, you can send your email to Kim. He can put you on the mailing list.
Well,
You can sign up.
You need to sign up, yeah. If you would like to know what's on every agenda, go to the website and sign up, and then also sign up to news and notices, because that's where all the notices about everything that's coming up, so make sure you sign on.
Did you gentlemen have comments you wanted to pass on?
I can just go Ottawa 2757 Pheasant Run. I'll echo a lot of the sentiment that was here. I purchased this house in 2017 because it was a dead end street. And yeah, ditto to everything that's been said so far.
Appreciate it.
Originally, it was set up to go through, but that was gonna be part of the town on the other side, so it would have been the same as where you live. It wouldn't have been
Sidewalk.
all this stuff. Now we're getting surrounded, our areas, by the village. On three sides, we get some areas, this is crap.
I'm glad you agree
No.
with us, because we thought so too.
So discuss, consider, you mentioned discussing this.
I put the consider on there just to give us an option for something.
Okay.
If that were to, if you want to just,
Well, I'd
Make a
make
motion to
I'd make a
table the-
motion that we discuss this at our meeting with the village in September.
I will second that.
And
You said, I can never tell
Come.
if I'm not
I'm
looking.
sorry, Troy.
That's why it was better when Christie sat there. I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
really get time.
We don't sound alike.
Steve,
All right.
Wait, we have another comment.
Oh, hi.
if you ever look at the original plat, any dead end road in Ravenwood had a cul-de-sac. Otherwise, the roads were going to connect to something.
yeah, that's what I said.
And if you're not gonna connect them, how do you can't get a cul-de-sac, a turnaround.
Not anymore, we can't. Not unless we take out chunks of people's lots.
Yeah,
And it's just.
So the kids walk to the
Hit their
corner
well
and pick
or
up the bus.
something, but you can't have a turnaround. You can't get a turnaround. I don't know how UPS and Fire will
Oh, yeah.
Amazon deal with that.
Back into a driveway and they back out, like they've been doing for how many years?
Usually mine.
Whoever's got the biggest driveway.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Thanks for coming tonight.
Thank
Thank you. Thanks for letting us
Hey, you
speak.
guys, you were on the school board.
Yeah.
You realize that there's over 500 kids from outside our district that go to our school now?
It used to be because that was financially beneficial
Over
to us.
500, and
I'm not sure it's financially beneficial to
think
us
about
anymore,
that.
Right?
Well, it's about time we know it.
Now they want to expand it for more kids from outside the district.
It used to be to our benefit, but I don't think it is.
It's not.
anymore. Not anymore.
That's why we built a school that we don't need anymore.
I went into high school.
Yeah, it ain't gonna
Thank you
happen.
guys for listening.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next item. Discuss and consider proposal from Tetra Tech for private well groundwater sampling of the hydrant replacement wells selected by the ad hoc well testing group.
We selected two wells to be tested. The last time they tested it, this is with the money from the Hydrite settlement back in 2002, I think. And there's not a lot of money. There's about $4,000 left, and you can see this is going to take more than half of it. Which the cost of testing has gone up considerably since the last time they tested anything in 2016, I think. But anyway, we also did check with Strand to see if they could give us a better price on the testing, and they said, no, they'd have to do the same thing, and we wouldn't have the continuity we have now because this is the same company that. Well, this is who has done it in the past, but they are also the company that's doing all the regular testing for the landfill. The monitoring,
Have we had any complaints
not the landfill.
about wells at all?
Not
Not hydrate, yes.
Oh, okay.
Have we had any complaints about wells recently?
Well, I mean, the ad hoc group is supposed to meet or can meet whenever they want to, and no, we haven't had any complaints, but we've had people that are wondering that one of them that they picked is someone who asked questions last year, and they decided to go ahead and test their wells, but there has not been anything of concern. I mean, we haven't tested since 16, those were clean. So, But there is money there and there was at least one person concerned, so they picked that one and then another one in a little different area with an alternate in case they don't agree, because they do have to sign an access agreement. So,
So how much money was set aside?
oh, back in the day, I don't remember what it started as. We got about $4,000 left right now.
From Hydrant,
Yeah,
there was money from
Yeah.
from them.
so this will take a good chunk of it.
Are they due to give us any more money? No, that was part of the deal.
One-time deal, yeah.
Are these wells in the area around here, or are they?
Out,
They're all out that way. A
Behind
lot of them
Hydrate.
are like Sunset Ridge, West Ridge, up off.
Okay.
I mean, if you look, I can send you, if you haven't ever looked at the Hydrate stuff, there's a public folder that
Yeah.
all the people with wells can look at. I can send you a link to that.
Yeah, that'd be,
I think it goes all the way, almost out to Caution Creek where.
but
Yeah.
the plume has sort of stopped though.
Yeah,
It's
the
not,
plume is because there's a remediation system, if that's the right word, in place that basically pumps water out of the ground and sends it to Madison Met. And so it's kind of flushing the system. And then there's a Canadian university consortium that does testing, and every once in a while you'll see little tents set up on the side of the road out that way, and they have wells.
Oh,
They
that's
have
what that,
moni-
that's
they have
what.
monitoring wells all over the place that they pull tests on, and we get a monthly report from them. And it's all out there. You can look at it. If there's a folder, you probably have it on your things, but I can send that folder to the town board.
Well, I know there was some residents on Uphoff that had contaminated wells. Hydrate came in and drilled them some serious.
Oh, after we
As
fought
part
with
of
them,
this-
yeah.
As part
Yeah.
of this settlement, yeah,
Yeah.
it was a class action
Yeah.
type of a settlement, and they came in and they're like 300-foot wells. And then a lot of them hit like iron and had nasty water, and so they have reverse osmosis systems in them too.
which was paid for.
And they,
Yeah.
and Hydrate, has paid for and continued to respond to it. Hydrate did not create this problem, they bought it. It was
Central
North
storage was the problem.
North Central
North Central
Chemical or whatever it
Oh,
was
Central
that
Chemical.
created the problem. And Hydrate basically bought this problem and has been dealing with it for all these years.
You put all these barrels of contaminated stuff down in the swamp and buried it
What swamp?
right next to Hydrate.
Oh, down there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where the problem.
And then some of it got stuck into our landfill. That's the problem.
That's why we got them out of the landfill too.
Well,
Yeah.
no, you gotta.
It's probably all underneath the road when they added all that fill in there for highway.
Yeah.
Well, I make a motion that we move forward with this. Since everybody's already looked at it, got a citizen who needs it done. And, I don't know what we're gonna do next time someone asks.
Well, we might be able to do one more test someday, and then after that, I think, I don't know, we'll have to, hopefully, I won't be here to worry about that.
You want to consider just a percentage, to pay a percentage, or do you have to use the whole?
No, we
No, you gotta use the whole.
paid the whole
Okay.
2248.
Well, we pay a percentage and then ask the property owner to pay a percentage.
That's not, I don't think that would, I'd have to look at the agreement.
Okay.
But we're supposed to, that ad hoc group is supposed to be able to pick them and use that money
Okay.
till it runs out, I guess.
We have motion and a second to approve.
Who was the second? I'm sorry.
Did I? I will.
I didn't hear a second.
I second.
There we go.
Spend $2,248 for the sampling of 2 wells associated with the Hydrate project. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. That's also put in there. That's money's coming from the original Hydrate settlement. Set date for the first meeting in September.
So that would be, otherwise it would be Labor Day, or, yeah. Labor Day. So I don't know if you wanted the Tuesday after
Yeah.
instead.
What's that, the 8th?
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm okay
So
with
Tuesday, the 8th?
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Pat, you okay with that?
I'm looking,
Oh,
I apologize, I've
Oh,
not
you
great with
probably
my
got
phone.
Fire, so that's.
Oh, so there's,
Tuesday.
yeah,
Is it possible to?
I'm good the 8th.
Huh?
Possible to use.
Tuesday the 8th, you
Wednesday?
said?
Tuesday the eighth.
Just
Yeah, I'm good with
in
that.
case I'm coming home on vacation, from vacation.
Wednesday is court in here.
Oh, all right. I'll leave it.
We're never gonna get everybody here all the time.
You're gonna do a
Make it
motion or
happen.
just a consensus for that?
Maybe we don't have Christie, so I don't know.
All right,
You wanna make a motion or you wanna just do a
It doesn't
consensus?
say, it just says set date.
Well, yeah. You gonna set it by a motion or are you just agreeing?
Yeah, just agree. Yeah,
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
September 8th it is.
Christie agrees.
Dan is not here, so we don't have any road
There's
right away
one
stuff.
right of way permit pending, waiting the payment of the deposit to my knowledge. And I don't think there's been any other ones issued, but he'll report that later.
Clerk treasurer's office update.
Just getting ready for election, public test of the equipment is tomorrow, early voting in offices happening this week and next week.
When's the actual election?
August 11th.
11th.
Are all those people, is everybody on the ballot, even those people that have dropped out?
Oh, yeah,
They're still on the ballot?
they're all on the ballot, yeah.
But the ballots that came in, they can't revote, right? People that,
If they return a ballot, they can't.
they cannot. Yeah.
So,
Is that new?
no.
That's always been that way?
There was a turn,
I thought that
I don't know, maybe in 2020 or something, there
was a
was.
screw up or
There was
something.
a little
Yeah.
bit where they went the other way and then they came right back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how it is.
Well, that's what happens when you vote 2 months in advance or whatever.
Well, that's what the clerk was saying, Dean County Clerk was saying, is, maybe not vote so early, says, but, if you want to mail them in, make sure you mail them in time so that they get into the
Yeah.
office.
Well, and that's.
Otherwise, drop them in the box.
I mean, that we had a request for someone that wanted a ballot mailed today, and if I talk to people this late in the process, I tell them I would not mail it in if I were you, because even if you mail it here, it won't be here. I mean, if you mail it in Cottage Grove, it won't be here tomorrow.
It goes to Milwaukee,
Yeah.
for Christ's sake.
And you can come in when the office is open, you can put it in that drop box, use those, don't put it in the mail. But anyway, I mean, there's time yet for that, and people can vote in person through next Friday, so.
Dropbox is way better than the mailbox.
Yeah. Other than that, I suppose I'll be starting to look at budget stuff pretty soon. I think they're supposed to be doing the paving projects middle of the month sometime here, so that bill will be coming in, and then I'll have to start looking at a loan for that to cover those projects. I guess that's all I know.
Board reports and communications.
Nothing.
I've gotten that big.
Landfill.
Mhm.
Yeah, the landfill, I'm sorry.
No, you said you have Netvic?
Yeah, the landfill, yeah. Chair was absent. So we had Heidi Murphy who was pro tem. Went over the minutes, everything good, did the strand bills, everything's good. There was no landfill testing to look at. The meeting frequency, we went ahead and adopted a semi-annual meeting, which I think everybody was in agreement with here. We were okay with that.
I will have an addendum to your comment there.
Perfect. And it would be in July, but we didn't set the date as the fourth, whatever Monday, because if there's only one meeting, we figured it'd be longer than a half hour and would cut into final commission.
Sure.
Do we have to make any changes? Like, I thought a quarterly would be good for.
The agreement,
Yeah.
the stipulation agreement that created that committee says they have to meet at least every other month. So there'll have to be a change to that agreement, and I understand that the village president is already asking their attorney to do that. I don't know why, but I would think that should be another joint agenda item to talk about.
Because you're doing it quarterly.
But you also can't do it in June or July because you need to talk to Strand in September with their proposal for the budget. Because that's part of that committee. They need to make a budget recommendation to the town board. And Strand isn't gonna have next year's contract ready until September usually. So if you were gonna meet once a year, I would say do September.
You still have the floor.
Nope, that was what I had from the meeting. That's all I had.
As long as you're brought it up.
I did bring it up.
I have a little bit of an issue with the village unilaterally deciding that they're gonna start changing the agreements for, and the rationale that I got for them changing or wanting to change this one came from a village trustee. And I can't see why somebody who's already here for a meeting that's gonna start 10 minutes after the other one, why they can't sit through a 10-minute meeting short of September wise, okay?
Right.
When we get to the overview of the past 12 months as far as the monitoring results. And then also we get presented with 2027 budget. But for her just to take it into under her purview, just because that she wants to, no, this should be a joint thing. Number one, I personally don't see the issue as long as everybody who's here has another meeting.
I don't, but it
Well,
doesn't bother
true.
me at all, so I don't care. I'm happy to come whenever there's a meeting.
Yeah, and so, it's a case where, in my opinion, why try and fix something that isn't broken? And so I particularly don't have any interest in changing anything just because a village trustee has an issue with it.
Town can do it,
It's the town's landfill.
Yeah.
I mean, the village is only a party to it in this situation because they were fighting us back in the day, tooth and nail. And as I was reminded by their attorney, it was a mutual agreement. Well, he was probably in grade school when this whole thing went down, and it got really contentious around here until such time as Jeff Smith started unearthing barrels that said North Central Chemical on them out of the landfill. And so after that, the village, because the village didn't want to take any responsibility. So that kind of started the process to where we ended up today with the agreement, as far as the landfill goes. And so, let's not try and fix something that isn't broken.
What I've seen from my vantage point is this policies for the emergency service building, all these things that the village has got their staff and attorneys working on. Is there a point where back in the old days, the village and town boards met every other month jointly?
Yeah.
And aren't these things that, like, before the village moves ahead with directing their staff and their attorneys to rewrite agreements between the town and the village, that not just a committee or a couple of people of you or a couple of people of them want, but that the boards get together and say, yeah, let's do that. I don't understand how come they would want to put their resources into something like that and take that expense on if they're worried about expenses. Because you haven't agreed to pay a share of their attorney bills. I don't understand why they would want to do all this, but it doesn't seem like they should be without.
Fire commission was all about lawyers, our last meeting, lawyers, about everything. And it would, the village had to go to their lawyer on everything we talked about.
But it seems like, you guys, I've been watching my share of village board meetings lately and it seems like you guys are talking about them, they're talking about you, and you're never in the same room to get on the same page. And then the whole community can criticizes the fact that the town and the village don't get along. Well, you can't get along if you're never in the same room.
No, well,
And
that's
you
true.
guys have a lot more of the background and institutional knowledge than anybody at the village does. And there's so many things that they don't understand because they haven't been here. Not that maybe they still shouldn't be changed, I don't know, but
Well,
there's just.
with
different vantage points.
Kim,
that-
that was they were embarrassed at a meeting a long time ago because they don't know anything that happened. You probably remember that. And that was we didn't do meetings for a long time.
Yeah.
I've always been for having meetings with them, but that's.
I mean, they're not fun meetings, but they weren't fun meetings back in the day.
No,
But I mean, it seems like there's just so much of us and them speaking in different rooms and never.
yeah, no.
And I don't know, maybe it's not a regular every other month like it used to be, or not even regular at all. But when there's issues, you got a meeting coming up because there's a joint issue. There's probably a lot of other issues that should be talked about while you're all in the same room.
Oh God, we could be here for 6-8
I
hours.
think it's probably more than one meeting.
Yeah. We have never pulled out anything with them. They sure pulled out a lot of stuff with us.
Right. Without consulting you and without even
Yeah.
understanding what the implications are from your point of view, because your point of view might have revealed implications on the village and vice versa.
But yeah, this should, it should be on the agenda with the roads again.
So you feel that they're gonna make a change to the landfill committee meeting and then send it out for us to approve?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And I am inclined, I'll obviously bring it up for agenda, for the board to discuss, but I'm inclined to say personally, my opinion, thanks, but no.
Okay.
But we'll discuss it like we do with everything here on the board. And if the board says we should change it, we'll go ahead. But, anyway, moving on. Fire department meeting, we approved $8,000 for Mark's Ready Rooter to come in and blast out the deposits on the inside of the sewer lines and the ESB. We attempted to get 2 other bids, but their bids consisted of basically, it's time and materials.
Half a job. Yeah.
And so we ended up going with the only firm quote that we felt was viable.
Is that coming just out of the regular budget?
Or ESB?
I think it was.
It's not out of the repair fund, it's just out of the regular budget?
What's maintenance? Yeah, maintenance budget, whatever.
Yes,
It was, right? As I remember.
yes, because there was money in the,
regular budget?
yes.
Okay, and then has that quote been signed and sent back to them?
That would be Eric probably.
No, it has not, because we're waiting for the ones coming from them with signatures on them and stuff.
Okay, because I
And
want
because
make sure.
Eric's working on that.
Make sure I get a copy of that then.
Okay. All right, let's see.
Looks like.
We spent an hour and a half on the dog.
Well,
At the fire.
That's
meeting.
another thing the village is rewriting again.
Again, yeah.
Along with some policy about ownership of assets.
Yeah.
They're working on all that stuff.
Yeah, it says here that the trustee requests we recommend that the village board direct village attorney to work with the human resources and legal counsel experienced in ADA and employment law to finalize professional emergency services building policy. This should be brought back to the village board for consideration at the next meeting. That's what they're,
Without our input.
I guess they can write whatever they want.
Yeah, they can.
Whether you want to accept it or not is something else.
I guess I would have wanted some sort of consensus between them and us and them, so as the attorney knows that whatever he's going to write is potentially amenable to both sides.
Right.
This has gotten into.
Otherwise, it just keeps coming back, meeting after meeting after
It's
meeting.
just amazing.
Well, the only eight, and I kind of brought this up and maybe I'm entirely wrong. The only ADA thing I see that's at this matter is that the dog is going to create a problem with anybody in the building when it comes to potential allergies.
But it has to be a specific seriousness, as I understood it,
A certain level.
of allergy.
Yeah.
You have to attempt to accommodate the person.
Here's your mask.
Yeah, right.
Or are we talking about doing a whole new ventilation system in the building?
Yeah.
That's why when we were talking about, is this actually a township or a village township thing, or between the two gentlemen? Because if you're talking about changing the ventilation system, well, then it's talking about us. We own the building. If they're talking about just some simple masks and quarantining, that's kind of on them, in my opinion.
Well, then the other issue about the piece of training equipment, there, it could be a gray area if it's training equipment or,
That's on their
we went
agenda.
through an hour and a half about that again.
And so all these things are coming from the commission, and the village is like taking action on them as a board without you as a board being consulted.
Usually it's before we even know what's going on. They don't even take anything from the fire commission. They just do what they want anyway.
But, so the commissions do something, goes back to the boards, and the boards both have to approve whatever is done.
Yeah.
So.
But there wasn't any clear consensus.
That's what I'm asking. So they're doing their own thing right now.
Is it direction from the commission that says, village, why don't you figure this out? And then.
No.
There's no direction to the
Right.
village.
Correct. That is correct.
Yeah.
And where's the report? The Fire and Emergency Government report, where is that sitting now? The 10-year thing? Is that back or?
What do you mean?
Oh,
Well,
the PAA.
PAA
Yeah.
report?
What
That's
is
back.
happening here?
There was the second draft, and Steve and I and some of the village staff marked it all up and sent it back to them, and there's a meeting this Thursday to discuss that with them, but it wasn't very encouraging.
Jeez, it's unbelievable.
So they're
And
supposed
then the
to,
person who was supposed to be at our joint meeting has taken a new job and won't be there. The person from Cedar Corporation isn't going to be there. And they're gonna have subordinates allegedly passing along the information.
Jesus.
So I'm not holding my breath.
we haven't paid the second half yet.
What's that?
That's good.
We haven't paid the second half yet.
Yeah, true,
Jeez.
true. Then I had a meeting with County Highway and also with Strand and Associates, who they have many different areas that they do, but they also have road engineers about the bridge down and our bridge down here at Annetfrick. I went in hoping and praying that we could get some commitment from the county and Strand that they would look at the feasibility of keeping half of the bridge, old bridge open while they do the new half to allow at least some traffic through there. And I got shot down in flames. I mean, pilot did not escape. I mean, it was, they were nice about it, but there wasn't. And then they've only got a short window to do it because of school bus traffic. And then also the DNR is involved because they can't start till after June 15th because of some fish habitat in the creek.
Didn't know that.
I didn't either.
That's the new one.
So one of the things, when it gets
Oh,
closer
man.
to this next year, we've already, I think, at one of our meetings, we've decided that we're gonna post all of our roads in the area at 10 tons. I do want to go ahead and extend an exemption to Nelson Bus Company
Oh, yeah.
because of the fact they can come right up by this road and go to the schools rather than using the 18-mile detour.
Is that how long it is?
Yeah.
How are they gonna close that big so people don't use it?
Netflix gonna be posted. So I mean, people are still gonna use it,
Yeah.
but,
It'll be what, like local traffic only or,
It'll be 10 ton.
oh, but cars can still use it.
yeah.
Okay.
And so
This,
the,
E Bridge closure is not thinking anything about school. That's closing like
In
almost
August, yeah, that won't be done for a couple of months.
2 to 3 months, and that's gonna be a nightmare for buses.
yes,
That's closing the 17th. I think they're still planning on that.
yep.
Yeah.
And then, let's see, I had one other. No, I guess maybe that was it. Nothing more, guys.
Me neither. Motion to adjourn.
Sure.
Second.
Not debatable. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Nice.
Well, guys, I can tell you, it's good that